right in the south of Germany, at the foot of the Alps, where Bavaria's kings once built their castles, where people and nature still live together in harmony, where tradition and customs are still kept alive, lies Bruckmühl, headquarters of the company Salus House. The maypole is a clue to the company's deep roots in Bavarian tradition. And the style of architecture also reveals the continuous growth of the company, which fits in well in the landscape, despite the requirements of modern technology. Just less than 100 years ago, the physician and health food pioneer Dr. Otto Greiter founded the family enterprise, which has now been successfully carried on for 60 years by his son Otto Greiter. In 1996, Otto Greiter developed the Salus riverside woodland biotope in order to preserve one of the last natural riverside woodlands in the neighborhood for posterity, to create a little paradise for the native animals and plants, and to secure a green oasis of relaxation for the people right in the middle of the local area. The typical riverside woodland character was preserved and new wetlands and ponds were created. 2 electricity power stations with 3 turbines driven by water power supply the business with environmentally friendly power. Salus House is party to the Bavarian Environmental Pact for Environmentally Friendly Business Growth and has been awarded the EMAS Certificate for Audited Environmental Management. In 2003, the company's owner, Otto Greiter, was chosen by the Environmental Foundation, the WWF, and the business magazine Capital as Eco-Manager of the Year. Among his many honors, Otto Greiter has also received the Federal Cross of Merit and the Bavarian Environmental Medal. All Salus products are based on medicinal herbs, and their active substance content is tested and researched at the company's own farm. Over 200 different medicinal plants grow in the Salus herb gardens. The breeding and selection of medicinal plants is done here under scientific supervision, so every supply can immediately be compared with the organically grown original. The seeds obtained are then also farmed on the Salus farms in Chile. After the reactor catastrophe in Chernobyl in 1986, unpolluted produce was very difficult to obtain on the European market. Otto Greiter decided to grow his own medicinal herbs in Chile. Salus acquired a 600-hectare farm with unpolluted ground at the foot of the still-active volcano Villarrica. The herbs grown here are mainly those at risk of extinction or protected by law in Germany. So, for example, it's been possible to use crossbreeding and selection to breed an arnica with a flower output much higher than that of the German type. Twice a year, Otto Greiter goes to visit the farms in Chile to ensure that he's satisfied with the organic farming practices and procedures. 15 years of ecological farming have brought a wealth of experience, but there has been a price to pay, because unlike conventional agriculture, chemical pesticides and fertilizers are not allowed. This means that although the plants grow more slowly, they do achieve a higher concentration of active substances. The water comes from the glaciers on the volcano. The air is free from pollutants, since there's very little industry in the area. The farm employs a permanent staff of 35 workers, and this rises to 120 at harvest time. This makes Salus one of the biggest employers in the region, and it makes a significant contribution to the improvement in the standard of living. The Salus farms in Chile are especially involved in the breeding and cultivation of herbs which are fairly uncommon, such as arnica, yellow gentian, lesser centauri, or the medicinal primrose. Over 100 different medicinal herbs are farmed continuously, such as echinacea, mullein, thyme, lavender, artichokes, or Alchemia alpina. They're harvested using the latest technology, often with machines which have been specially developed for this type of plant. The herbs are also dried in a way which is environmentally friendly, using solar power in solar dryers developed by the company. The pre-cleaned produce passes via air separators and conveyor belts, where any contaminants still present are picked out by hand. The Salus organic farming label is a guarantee of laboratory-tested raw materials. After After a 6-week sea voyage, the medicinal herbs arrive in Bruckmühl. The transport costs are comparatively low and amount to only a few cents per finished package. First of all, the herbs go into a quarantine store for immediate storage. Despite conscientious manual sorting, there may still be some pests in the herbs. This is why all newly delivered herbs have to pass through the cold chamber. Here, in an ecologically sound way, using no chemicals, they're cleared of any pests using very cold air at a temperature of -80 degrees. As soon as the produce arrives, a sample is taken and examined in the laboratory. These strict rules apply both for all organic raw materials from the company's own farms and for produce bought in from contract farms and wild collected. The laboratory examinations play a very important role at Salus House. Tests are conducted to strict Salus standards, which are much higher than the statutory regulations. For example, for identity, active substance content and purity, radioactivity, heavy metal pollution, pesticides or fungi. The devices used at Salus, such as gas or high-pressure liquid chromatographs, work to such a degree of accuracy that they could detect a lump of sugar sunk in Lake Constance. All the values determined are recorded and statistically registered. Only now can the herbs start on their path into production. Depending on their intended use, they're air separated, chopped, sieved and transferred from their transport containers into clean, white linen sacks. Since 2005, a computer-controlled sorting plant, which is so far unique in Germany, has been in operation at Salus House. Depending on their nature, such as form and color, foreign bodies are identified by a color camera and sorted out by air pressure valve in a matter of seconds. Different tea blends are carefully composed according to their respective recipe and blended in special machines. Samples are taken during each work step and tested in the laboratory as an in-process control. The results are recorded and archived, so even years later, each production step can be traced. Only now can the herbs be sent via the filling machinery to the packaging lines. Here, the ready-printed packets are cut from the roll, opened, carried under the automatic scale, filled and sealed. An electronic control scale checks the filling weight again and separates out any packets which are underweight. Salus organic medicinal herbal teas in black bottom bags are hand-picked premium class herbal teas from guaranteed controlled ecological farms, with the Salus organic farming label for laboratory tested quality. It's a great deal more complicated to package the filter bags. Here, the herbs are more finely chopped. The precision scales are loaded by means of a system of pipes. The paper, made from unbleached pulp, forms itself into a tube as it leaves the roll, is filled and then sealed using a rust-proof clamp. A natural thread made of unbleached cotton carries the label. Depending on the package sizes, the machine assembles 15 to 40 bags of each size and pushes them into the cartons. Lastly, these are packed into the shipping cartons. But Salus does not only produce herbal teas. The range of Salus natural products includes more than 1,500 articles. In addition to tablets and drages, liquid preparations such as tonics and drops also play an important role. Also processed are ingredients such as select fruit juices and honey, which are also subject to a strict control on arrival. In the liquid and extract production areas, the herbs are extracted according to the recipe in rotating stainless steel mixers. Complicated process techniques are required to produce special forms of preparations. This includes a vacuum belt dryer to convert liquid extracts into the dry form. The material obtained in the belt dryer is next processed in a rolling crusher for the rest of the production. Here is a distillation plant for obtaining essential oils. Production extends over 3 floors. Controlled by computer, the liquid preparations pass via a system of connected stainless steel pipes into the storage tanks. The production of Salus tonics or drops requires complicated process technology to separate the active substances from the herbs as gently as possible. In the first stage of manufacture, the herbs are extracted in rotating stainless steel mixers according to the recipe. The herbs often remain in these mixers for up to several hours. To remove any undesired suspended material from the liquid extract, they pass through screw presses or centrifuges. Short-time heaters ensure freedom from germs. The liquid products are stored in the cellars at various temperatures. Sensitive raw materials need cool rooms, so the heat recovered from the refrigeration units is used to heat the storerooms, which is of course environmentally friendly. There are arrays of tanks or individual double-walled heated tanks with a capacity of up to 25,000 litres. The filling line for liquid preparations begins at the bottle delivery point. A robot grips the bottles in hygiene packs which come directly from the glassworks, opening and removing the wrapping. Conveyor belts bring the bottles to the filling machine, where, to maintain sterility, they're filled hot. The sealing machine seals the bottles with an aluminium seal with a screw thread. The bottles, which are still hot, must be cooled down slowly, so they're brought to room temperature in the cooling tunnel with cold water. A measuring cup for easier dosing is attached to the bottle, followed by labelling, first on one and then on the other side. Next, the bottle has to be brought from the upright into the horizontal position for further processing. The folding box is prepared and opened. The package leaflet containing important information for users is cut, folded and inserted. The folding box is closed and glued. The automatic packaging machine arranges the bottles in rows of 8 while the shipping carton is fed in and opened. The bottles are pushed into the box and this is closed and glued. Then the batch number and the expiry date are printed on. Finished? Not quite yet. The shipping cartons are pushed onto pallets, stacked up into high towers and then leave the production line. In the packaging room, the entire batch is then packed with a transparent film for protection and support, until a stacker loader takes it into the high bay warehouse for finished goods, where it's temporarily stored until dispatch. Salus quality products. From ecological farming to dispatch, a long and costly journey, and all from a single source. Almost a century of experience, supported by modern technology and science, guarantees that all Salus natural products are of the highest quality. Salus natural products. Worldwide in over 50 countries of the earth.